Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island UK Series 11, Week 5, episodes 35 through to 40. Now, Chris, where would you like to start today?
Well, a lot's happened this week, Dave, and you forget, because obviously we're recording just weekly, and we start with the movie night. So I was like, and we both said, oh, here we go. And you know what, Dave? More than anything, as this has gone on, my dislike for Joey Essex is growing by the fucking episode. As the week went on, it tailed off a bit, as in he wasn't really in the middle of the show, which he's been from the start. But the whole thing where he was getting exposed for being on the terrace and like the lads are all there laughing, aren't they? The girls are fuming, quite right. Grace was right about him all along. And then he just gets fucking nastier and nastier, doesn't he? He's not a nice person, Joey. And the whole fucking, he plays this, the cliche of the dizzy blonde, I suppose, as a guy. It's bullshit. He's quite a clever guy who knows how to manipulate and maneuver reality TV. But when he gets something that pushes back on him, his real nasty little side comes out. And that was so apparent the way he spoke to Grace. Even Jess was the same. She was like, he's a fucking prick. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't like him. And I'm glad he's took a back seat with this week, but I just don't know where it's going to go, because I thought he'd be booted. I keep saying he's been paid. He's going to get booted. Maybe the last few episodes he'll get booted, because I just think it's completely wrong if he goes to the end with a chance to win.
Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree with anything you say about him. The thing I'd say, though, for movie night, I just think almost all the boys were just utter dicks.
Yeah.
Like, for the whole night, it's as if they were going in with that mindset. It's like bunker down, batten the hatches kind of thing. We're going to get attacked, but we'll all stick together and we'll all just be pricks. And like, just if the girls come at us at something, we'll just like fucking give it back as much as we get it. So I don't know. Often with the movie night, something happens, you get some flare-up points, and then depending on, I guess, who you sympathise with, you might see it multiple different ways, and we see that in the chatter after. But yeah, I just thought the boys were all pretty terrible, and it was just strange that the level of nastiness coming from everyone. But I mean, so you're saying that? Sorry, I think there's plenty to go around, Chris.
Sorry,
you were talking about Joey Essex. I mean, I've just seen your notes. He's a little weasel-faced prick. Yeah, don't disagree. But yeah, he was going, and the thing is, one of the very few people who I think came out with any credit, I think, was Blade, because when it said, he said he's not the sharpest tool in the box, then Joey's getting the ump, don't be going after my intelligence. All right, mate, we'll put off your application to Mensa, right? You're so fucking smart, aren't you? But Blade was just like, said it in the moment, it seemed like a funny thing to say at the time or whatever. So he was pretty chill about it, and it sort of crossed my mind, as Grace intentionally gone and brought back the biggest fucker she can from Casa Amor, because ultimately, the little weasel-faced prick can have a go, but, he's not, and it's going to be a bit of verbals, isn't it? It's never going to go beyond that. So, I did like a little bit of that comeback from Blade.
I did, and I think look, Dave, look, lo and behold, I'm jumping a bit. Where's Blade now? Fucking gone. Again, someone else who's gone up against Joey again, like Omar, same thing, booted off. It's bullshit. Blade was right. And then what he said, Shabtu on the box. Well, Joey, your whole act is fucking, I am, not very intelligent. I don't know what I'm doing. The whole thing when Jess picked him and he's like, oh, what? Me? The old Bryan Cranston fucking thing, like, what, me? Like I'm doing nowadays, if you can see me. But, it's like, bullshit. He's so meta aware of what he's doing, what's going on. And when they were having a go at Blade, because there was the video about the guy, it's out of order, mate. And he said it, and one of the girls back to him was like, but you'd all fucking do it. You're coming in as a bombshell. You've got to rattle some cages because you want to stay in. You want that bit of fame. You want that notoriety. You're not there to find love. You're there to stir it up, steal somebody, make sure you get as much TV time as possible. And all the guys are outraged. You know, David, it always harps back. We say it every time on this podcast to the classic Bachelor episode, the shakedown on that guy, because for heaven's sake, he wrote down a plan of how he was going to win Bachelor. And for some reason, that's ethically against everything that goes on, because even though you're doing it in your head, you write that down and that is the end of you. And it's like, fuck off. He's done exactly what all of you have done. And the girls even backed him and said, you had all done the same. He's in there to make and stir waves. He's trying to make an impression on somebody, isn't he? That's the whole point of Casa Amor. So I thought Blade come across really well again, and Joey just looked like a complete dick. And he stood his ground, Blade. He wasn't backing down. He's like, well, what you... And to be fair, Dave, what he should have done is just stood up and gone, what the fuck are you going to do about it? Because he's fucking huge, innit? It was like, what are you all going to do about it, lads? Sit the fuck down. Joey, shut up. You know, I really like the fact that he was not afraid to speak his mind. Whatever people think of him, I thought he was sound, to be honest. And it was obvious at that point that his days were numbered in the villa, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say, though, I mean, we declared Joey King Bellend a few weeks ago, but... And I've just realised, I said it was week 5. It's week 6, Chris.
6, yeah.
Yeah, I just realised.
Not long, David.
Yeah, such a shame. So he said Joey was fucking King Bellend a few weeks ago. I actually think Will was worse on movie night than Joey.
It's awful.
What do you reckon I mean, his behaviour I just thought was disgusting. And then how that evolved for him and Uma, I'm still scratching my head now. I'm still just baffled by the whole thing.
Honestly, what annoys me about Will was he was like a little kid, you know, that like when you're in the playground, the girls are with their friends, the lads are with theirs, and you know, we've all done it when we were kids. You know, you're all sticking up for your mates and that. That's fine when you're 10, 11, 12 years old. What is he, 23, 24? And he treated her with so much disrespect. And poor Uma, look, the thing is for Uma is she, by the looks of it, and I'm going to say this, and you're going to go, you know, how true that is. Her actions to anything that happened when Will kissed somebody, the whole, especially the way the week unfolded for her, I think she actually did what I find love, Dave, because she put all her eggs in Will's basket. Will is a player. He was looking at the lads. He thought it was hilarious. When he was getting called out, it was always that. And I hate that. The lads are fucking arseholes. We've had a couple of seasons where people have gone, I think the girls are worse than the lads. I think this season, the lads have just played it absolutely to type. They've all been pretty much bellends. All of them have been exposed. I don't think there's any of the guys in there. And I'm not saying there's not a couple of the girls who I don't like Jess and that, but majority of the guys have been complete cocks in there and just played to what lads are about, just basically taking the piss out the girls. Cheating is nothing. Take me back. If you don't take me back, I don't give a fuck. And I just think Will was a complete knob. But as it was going on, Dave, I'm like fucking going, Uma, I just know where this is going. Yeah. Don't fucking back down. She was saying all the right things, but I kept thinking, this isn't going to play out. She's going to fucking back down. And lo and behold, she did. But yes, getting back to your question, Will was the absolute bell end of the week for me.
Yeah, it's just the way she was obviously upset, but I don't think she was disproportionately upset. You know, she wasn't going overboard or anything. And she's saying, like, why would you do that? And he's like, because I wanted to. You know, and I'm like, fucking hell, show some sort of humility. And even as it went on, I absolutely no remorse whatsoever, or not even remorse about it, but just empathy with how she might feel. And when it comes to it, when he's going to get booted out, and she's like, "I'm off as well." Did you notice when he's talking to the boys, he's saying like, "Well, you know, she says she's going out, but well, let's see." You know, he does not give a toss about Uma at all. And I just find it so strange. But Uma does come across like with that authenticity, you know, and someone who I mean, even before that whole spat with movie night, it was someone, I think Mimi as well. But I mean, we'll talk about Mimi and Ayo shortly, I'm sure. But it just seemed odd. And I don't know where will they go after this. I'm shocked still, Chris, that she's decided to walk because he just didn't seem that bothered. He just seemed like someone who's in it for a holiday romance. I mean, you say about The Bachelor. Actually, one thing I will say for Will, he did speak the truth, in terms of like, I'm here for myself. He literally put it out there. He's singularly there for himself, and that's it. And so he doesn't really care. He's with Uma right now because she's there right now. If someone else came in, might be with them as well. So it's like, okay, yes, you're saying it as the truth, but actually it'll be written up like it's part of a heated argument or something like that. But no, he's telling the truth in that moment.
Yeah, it makes him even more of a prick, doesn't it? I suppose. I was just baffled by it, and the fact that she's gone, they will not be together. Like, I think for him, that is the biggest ego fucking stroke he could have had. Really, the fact that Uma was absolutely stunning, wasn't she, Dave? She was really, really good-looking girl. She could have got any guy in there, and the fact that she went for him, the fucking Shaggy lookalike, was ridiculous. You know what I mean? He was the mystery machine, the prick. What a dickhead he was. But anyway, you go on about Ayo and Mimi. Oh, fuck. Now, Dave. Actually, Dave, let's talk about this. So, Ayo and Mimi. So last week, I got called out dinner for, the reality radar was questioned, Dave. It was questioned. Now, what I would say, like you always said a bit, like fucking a broken clock is right twice a day sort of thing. So yes, it is. But as the week went on, you could just see what was going on. I mean, I got exposed at movie night, didn't he? And Mimi was like, I feel sick, like she was so upset. She was like, everything she thought. Jessie tried to apologize, and she's like, you've got nothing to apologize. The girls were great. They were like, you've got nothing to apologize for. It's not you, it's him. And I think as the week's gone on, Dave, once Will went, I thought he was just completely like, it just come across so badly. The whole thing, we've given him an out at times because he's not been as obvious as some of the other players, like trying to play a game. But I thought the way he spoke to Jessie, especially when they had that flashpoint, as if to say, deal with it. And then he was flirting back with Mimi. And I'm like, but then Mimi's buying it. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. They brought Josh in and Ruben. And as soon as she was on her own, I was like, well, there's two bombshells coming in the next episode, which there was, lo and behold. And one of them, oh my gosh, yeah, Mimi's my ideal girl. What? Because she's fucking single and it's an easy fucking open Gary Lineker tapping from 2 yards. Of course it is. But Dave, before you carry
never
on,
let it be said that our pop culture references are not bang up to date.
Yes, 1986.
The grey old, fucking millennials that watch. Who's that? Oh, I don't know. He's this old bloke presenter from Match of the Day.
Well, Dave, before you can answer all this, our good friend and Patreon, and she came on and hosted the show with us, the amazing Joe Russell, sent me a voice message, Dave, on WhatsApp about the reality radar. Now, would you like to play it, Dave? Because when I bring the reality radar out, when I say 100% accuracy, now I received this on Monday evening after the last episode, after my predictions, Dave. Just play it, my friend. Just play it.
Right, let's go.
Hi, love. I'm just voice noting you to see if you're okay, because I've just heard the latest podcast and it feels like you've lost your mind. Your reality radar has never been this bad. It's been bad, but geez, Chris, do you know women at all? Is the question I'm asking myself.
It's a fair question.
I realise that by the time you do another episode, you will have had a week where you can go, oh, it's not my fault. I'm going to apologise again because, I didn't realise what was coming up, and we can get all that madness from you. If you think for a second that Ayo can go back with Mimi, Or that, Jesus Christ, Mimi is going to take him back.
Oh no.
What is going on in your mind? Aside from what he did to Mimi, him and this new girl, Jess, look made for each other. He has a laugh with her. He really looks like he likes her, and she really looks like she likes him. And him and Mimi were convenient. They didn't really look like they had chemistry. It's all fine. And yes, agreed that he has treated her like shit, and he's not been very apologetic, and he's not really had any sympathy for her, and he's not acted the right way with Mimi because he's an arsehole. However, there is no way she will take him back. Like, what are you okay?
Just, I like getting the Holly Willoughby thing in right at the end.
Yeah. How are you? Are you okay? So, Dave. Now, Joe makes a good point.
Holding my head in my hands there, just like, oh no, I can see where this is going. Okay, go on, sorry.
No, you've got to let me reply. So, what I'm going to say to you is this. Joe makes a very good point. I don't understand women, and I do not profess to understand women. However, Dave, I know fucking guys. I'm a guy. We know guys, the dickheads. You don't ever doubt the reality radar, Dave. 100% accuracy. Now, I expect Joe to send me a message after she listens to this with a full apology. Now, they're not back fully.
I won't hold your breath for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath. I'll be still here next week. Well, where's Chris? Well, he's still holding his breath from last week. But what I would say is they're not technically together, but we know how it's going to play out, Dave. I don't throw these in. It's almost like someone saying there is a 1% chance of Davide and Ekin-Su getting back together. And then all of a sudden, it all played out. It's almost as if I've watched these reality shows for nearly 20 years, Dave, and I know the scripts. But, you know, you can reply to this as well. But, Joe, I am sat here in Smug Corner with my reality radar T-shirt on and a big cigar. I don't even smoke, but just a big cigar just to celebrate that victory, Dave, because that was amazing from Joe. But anyway, Dave, you carry on now. I'm just going to sit here and let you talk.
You just sit there in Smug Corner. No, I think I can't remember what my position on it was, but I think Ayo and Mimi's been coming ever since he walked back in from Casa, or they met up again post Casa Amor. I think the other one was Joey and Grace. And I'm still not writing that off, although that looks a little less likely. But I don't know. I'm still not convinced either way. I think what you recognise are the patterns. So let's. I mean, we've been talking as if all these people have just free will, and they are there for the premise of the show. You know, to meet someone and couple up and whatever, win the 50K. Yeah. Get loads of followers and whatever. But I just can't, my gut can't keep going, or can't help but keep going back to when Liam and Millie won Love Island. That changed the game. And I do, you know, I'm intentionally calling it a game because there's different tactics afoot. So since then, you've seen the lads just almost switch their behavior completely in Casa Amor so that it becomes like this lad's holiday. You know, you'll take a bit of shit, or, you know, when you come back, and that week, you know, will be a bit rough, and you'll ride it out, and then you'll get back together. And then, you know, you've got, you know, a few weeks to like coast it in, and you've got a good chance to be at least in the final, if not a full shot at winning it. You know, and the longer you're on the screen, the more Instagram followers you're going to collect. And so I just feel like even if kind of Ayo and Mimi haven't verbalized it to themselves, you know, these are the tactics, it smells like tactics to me as opposed to just people being dicks. Yeah.
And I think you're right. And I think that whole Liam arc was ridiculous, wasn't it? We've never seen that in the normal world. That is not way for a relationship. I mean, Matilda is another one, isn't she? You're right. The whole thing when Diamante and the other girl were with Sean, and she's like, "Well, I'm fucking here. What are you gonna do about it?" You know, as if to say, "Well, I've won." And that's like, well, that's not morally. That is not how the real world is. But for this type of show, all that goes out the fucking window because of the financial thing. It's a different level. It's a career at the end of the day now, isn't it? Reality TV is a career. Joey Essex, he's definitely got to be a millionaire unless he's pissed all his money up the wall.
Easy.
But easy. He's got to be. He's got to be the brand. There'd be something at the end of this. I think he's done himself no favours at times in here and how he manoeuvres the last couple of weeks. But you're right. It's a playbook thing. And this whole thing, Dave, we've said it before. It's a test. Fuck off. What test? You can't go out cheating and just come back to your relationship and go, in real life, like, I mean, we are looking at real life here. I know we shouldn't because it's a TV show. We know it's fabricated. They're asked to do certain things. But it's like anybody watching, any kids watching, it's sort of like they're sort of like growing up going, well, it doesn't really matter if I cheat because it's a test. I can get away with it. You know, I mean, who am I to say? Middle-aged fucking bloke.
Yeah.
So
if you don't put the tip in, how do you even know if this other thing is real? You know.
Unfortunately, it's the fucking tip with me, Dave. But there you go. That's the whole thing. But there you go.
It's just nonsense, isn't it? But you're right. I mean, we can look at it, right, as grumpy old blokes saying, you know, this is all tactical. But you're right. I mean, younger people watching this, you know, you get influenced by stuff, don't you? I mean, how many times when we do our other one, the VHS Strikes Back, and we look at these old movies, and you're like, fucking hell, some of the behaviour is totally off here. And you're like, well, that does influence when you're watching the movies and stuff in the 80s. That influences people's behaviour, and you can't help but think that, well, people watching this probably influences their behaviour. It's just fucking wrong. And you mentioned about Sean. I mean, what an absolute tool. I fucking not liked him from the start. There's something been off about him. And I thought in movie night, he showed his true colours. This whole fake nice guy thing. I just think he was an utter tool. Obviously later on, did like the car though. You know, when him and Matilda went out. Very, very nice. Yeah. But apart from that, nothing else positive to say about him.
No, I'm the same. He was interested on movie night because he, as much as Will was a complete cock, he just come across like so nasty, didn't he? And because he's now with Matilda and he's actually with somebody, he thinks he's the main character and all this side of his personality. I mean, look, at the end of the day, he's a fucking salesman, isn't he? He's got a fucking Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wanker and this fucking Chocolate Factory, whatever. That was on a TV show, that Willy Wonka, Dave. But they go on the Chocolate Factory. It's not what I've watched, Dave, before you say anything. But anyway, so... But with him, he's just come across so poorly this week. And them two getting this whole story arc. And I'm thinking, why are you now the main characters of the show? The Porsche date from nowhere. Let's go on a date. And I was like, I don't get it. They've not been there from the start. Ciaran and Nicole, to be fair, I know we'll talk about them, but from the whole thing. But then that led on to this sort of boyfriend-girlfriend thing, didn't it? They obviously listened to our podcast, Dave, and gone, listen, the Reality Radar and the Chris and Dave have said, like, you know, hunt the slipper bollocks, we can't have that. So they're doing it a different way in this series. But yeah, Sean's just a dick. And I think she's a dick as well, to be honest, Dave. I think they're both... deserve each other, and they'll ride this out till the end now. It's 100%. They're not going to win it, but they'll ride it out.
Yeah. I forgot to say, was it last week? Someone posted in the chat that Maya Jama used the term Casanomorians. You know, she might have been listening to the podcast, Chris. She might be on the Casamorian side.
Dave.
not the Reality Radars.
The Reality Radar. If the Reality Radar ever gets mentioned, we know that someone's listening. You know, someone did say that, and I was like, "Oh, fuck off!" I'm being, but technically, they didn't say Casamorians.
yeah.
The Casamorians sound like some religion, though, don't it? Where they knock on your door and fucking like, "Hi, have you ever spoken to God? Yeah, would you want to come and join us on our reality show? Yeah, no problem."
I think that's a great idea, Chris. So that'll be on it. Patreon push.
I've gone right off Maya Jama now, Dave. But no, what about then, Dave? Because a lot of this week was dominated with Ciaran and Nicole. So Nicole is honestly, Ciaran, if they're together, and I don't think Ciaran's done himself any favours at times as well, and the movie night didn't help, but it was also, he was trying to explain stuff, but she literally goes from 0 to 100, and any time she's away from him, he's literally going to be in trouble, aren't they, when they're outside in real? She's going to be checking his phone. She's so insecure and she's been so let down. And I just hope like someone tells her in a family when she gets out, because you can't go through life doing that. We all get jealous. We've all had moments where you look back and, oh, fucking hell, why have I done that? Why have I said that? But she's doing it on TV. She's not even trying to hide it. She cannot hide it. She wears a heart on her sleeve, and Ciaran, no matter what he does, Dave, I bet he sits there like an action man. He's not allowed to move his eyes in case he looks in the direction of one of the other girls' G-string or the fucking, the boobs or whatever. He's probably fucking thinking, I cannot move, because she literally goes just completely over the top. And I'm sick of seeing her fucking crying. I'll be honest with you, Dave. She cries over anything. Oh, fucking, the wind's changed direction. Oh my God, what's Ciaran doing to me? I'm like, what the fuck are you going on about?
The wind changes direction. I'm sure Ciaran was just had his head turned. Yeah. So, I mean, right. So, giving the boys a bit of abuse, I think Joey,
quite rightly,
Will, Sean, absolutely quite rightly. I don't think Ciaran's done anything wrong at all. I mean, he's literally. To a bit of a surprise, I have to say, but I mean, I can't fault him at all, for anything that he's done. So I think he's come out of this week looking really, a lot better. And I do think it's genuine, the whole boyfriend, girlfriend, what does he say, hunt the slipper, doing the whole challenge. I mean, they have got fuck all to do in there, Chris, so I can empathise a little bit with, let's fucking do this. But again, all a little bit tactical. Whereas the whole thing to do it at that moment when, it's a recoupling and the girls are picking, I think for him to ask then, I thought that was sweet, actually. I thought it was a nice time to do it. It's not all set up. They've seen the previous shows. What I'd say, though, as a couple, I think they've got a good shot at the final. I think they'll definitely be there on the last day, but will they actually go and win it? Who knows? There's a lot that can happen in between now and then. Nicole's behaviour, I think, is really quite troubling. I mean, I agree. I don't know why I laughed at that, but I think it is. You've seen the In-Betweeners too, right? And I'm talking about my past and stuff, so I'm not going to go over all that as well. But, so I'll make a movie reference instead. So In-Betweeners 2, where Simon's away in Australia and, his girlfriend who he'd met in at the end of the first movie, is just saying, "Oh, I love you so much," and she's cutting up his shirts and clothes and stuff. And it's just, I'm only doing this because I love you. And it's like, oh, fucking hell, I feel like Nicole's behaviour could go in that direction because he's not really doing anything. She's on Love Island. She knows what it is, and he could be so much worse. And they still might decide to make a go of it, but yeah, it's just I don't like the energy. I think she's doing it because she's genuinely insecure, but it's really quite manipulative as well. So I think let's see where they go. I can't really fully invest in that couple. I kind of want to, because fucking hell, Chris, it's slim pickings for a couple you're rooting for, isn't it? Yeah. But I just can't go full throttle and get behind this couple when she's just a bit all over the place. And like I say, when she's acting like that, she is kind of manipulating his behavior. I mean, when he got taken on a date with, is it Lottie? What was her name?
Lolly, yeah.
Lolly, that's it. I mean, fucking hell, the poor lad looked like he was off to get questioned by the Gestapo. He's like, fucking hell, and he's on Love Island. He's a young bloke. Just go have a bit of flirty banter. Just all of that stuff would be okay in normal circumstances. But the poor lad, looked like he was off to get shot. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think you're right. I think the whole premise of the way she is, it's not a good look. There was some people said, and I can see it as well, that the reaction of him asking to be his girlfriend was because Sean and Matilda had got like this whole thing, and they came back as exclusive, didn't they, from the date and all that, so like some had said like the mask had dropped. I saw that online, and this is the real Sean, but Ciaran, sorry, but with Nicole, what else is he to do? And this isn't me defending the guy, because I'm saying the other guys are complete pricks, but it's just Nicole's like, anything he says or interprets is wrong. Lolly is, if Nicole goes on a date with another guy, Ciaran's not going to be bothered. He's just like, right, you're on a date. That's it. He knows they're solid. They said they love each other. If he was fake and he's saying he loves her, then fair enough. But she knows he's not going to do anything. But when he came through the door, he was going over the top, like showing Lolly different things, as if to say, right, you go over there now, leave me alone, because I can clearly see Nicole's going to rip my dick off. It's like, she's literally going to John Wayne Bob at him, isn't she? She's going to wake up one morning and he's like, well, you won't be doing anything with that anymore. It's like, fucking, she needs someone to have a chat with her, because it's playing out on TV, and her behaviour. I think you're right. I think the manipulation side of it's right. And all she has to do is start crying, runs off. All the girls are running around and tell them, like, yeah, you're right, Kit. None of them are holding her accountable. A real friend would hold her accountable and go, look, you've got to fucking stop doing this. You know what I mean? Just for herself. She said, even if Ciaran is not the guy for her, you cannot go through life thinking that, one, everyone's the same. They're always going to cheat on you. You're going to be suspicious, because she's going to tie herself in knots. And then what relationship is Ciaran going to have look, it's fucking Love Island, Dave. After 2 months of OK Magazine shit, they'll be finished anyway. But if there is a chance of her making it, what realistically do you think is positive out of what we've seen in that relationship? Nothing. She's needy. And everyone's needy. Everyone likes attention. Everyone wants affection, but not to that level. That's like, it's almost as if Ciaran's already cheated on her. They've got back together and she'll never trust him again. And that's his fault. That's on him. He's got to make that trust and build that trust. But she's still in her head always thinking, he's going to cheat on me. This is Love Island. He's got girls walking past him every day and fucking, literally fucking dental floss stuff. What's he supposed, you know what I mean? She's very, very insecure. And yeah, I think as this has gone on, I'd probably say I would pick them over anyone else to win.
Yeah.
Because it's the best of a bad bunch. I don't want Joey winning. Matilda and Sean are fake. Ayo and Jessie, no. If it's Ayo and Mimi, maybe that's the next 2 weeks, is the whole story arc of the redemption, and they may end up coming through because Mimi's her favourite. But then I've seen people calling Mimi out this week because it's like, why are you entertaining Ayo? You've got Josh there, who's a good guy. What is going on? And then Grace is sort of playing a little bit with Josh. Is that going to be something that happens? I don't know. But yeah, I think I would rather they win, but more because of Ciaran, I think, than anything else. But yeah, but Dave, great TV, though. I love talking about it.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's not, I'm not kind of rooting for the couple just because of Ciaran. I do kind of like Nicole, but I just don't like this aspect of her behaviour. And like I say, I don't think she's thinking through how her actions are being manipulative. But the net result is that's what's happening. So yeah, absolutely, definitely, best out of a bad bunch. And I think actually I was going to switch to Mimi and Ayo, because I was going to say, unfortunately, people don't think 100% logically, do they, with relationships and stuff. There's a lot of emotions as well, so it's not a logical thing. But the whole Sean and Matilda coming back and announcing their exclusive, I mean, has someone drawn out like a hierarchy of what the stages are? Because I can't help but think, was it 2 seasons ago someone announced this exclusive thing, and it seemed to be almost, well, I don't want to say boyfriend and girlfriend, so let's make up this new level that you can graduate to. And it's like, but what is the difference? Like, to be exclusive or to be boyfriend and girlfriend? I mean, is boyfriend and girlfriend higher than being exclusive? And what is the difference? Because if you're exclusive, you're effectively boyfriend and girlfriend, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. And someone put in the chat about one of our friends in the chat had said, like, they'd asked their lads, what's the stage? You know, like for us, I think someone put it was so good. It was like, you know, you snog someone. If you snog them more than once, you're now boyfriend and girlfriend, you know, and all that sort of thing. And it was like a little four-part thing to a relationship, you know, or like you finish or you move on or whatever. But now
It's
there's different
complicated.
stages.
There's a status on Facebook, innit?
Yeah, Dave, it's just it's fucking ridiculous. There's about 7 stages, isn't there, to these things? Like now, it's like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like there's even like they do the baby reveals. We've now got to do relationship reveals. These fucking all sorts of different stages of life. It's no wonder no one's getting married these days. It's because there's fucking about 10 different things you've got to get to just to get to that
Exhausted by that point.
It's like, fuck that, I'm finished now. I'll be 68 by the time they fucking get to the point we can get married. We've been together 40 years. So yeah,
but
different world.
And you're talking about real life though there. Obviously for Love Island, this isn't real life. And I think, again, they've kind of invented these new levels almost to stretch out the relationship, because if someone declares boyfriend and girlfriend in week 1 and they're not, neither side is entertaining anyone else, and they're just there, they're settled, well, they're not going to win, are they? Because we'll all just get bored. And we'll kind of sort of be invested in them, but, you know, we'll say that they're boring. We've done it before, haven't we? I can't think of a couple off the top of my head, but I think it's just inventing these stages, because, I mean, if you consider like the absolute bottom is friend couple, you know, where both parties just declare, you know, we're just friends, there's nothing here. And then, you know, I guess there's something up from friend couple. You're coupled up. I mean, I guess that's the default, you know, so you're not down as a friend couple, you're coupled up. And then I guess there's this thing where there's an understanding. And then I guess, is it being exclusive above that? And then boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yeah.
And then and then I guess the L bomb should come after that. You know, if you were to do it all sequentially, you know, to get a good run to the final, I think that's the path you would go on, isn't it? And then so like Ciaran and Nicole, they haven't followed the normal path, but I think that's probably how a lot of them are thinking and looking to play it.
Yeah, that's true. And with 2 weeks to go, it's got to, hasn't it? It'll finish 2 weeks tomorrow, won't it? So as you record this, so yeah, it will be. But what about Thingy Day? I know you're upset this week because I know you messaged me on, was it Wednesday or Thursday night, and I said to you, like, I'll have to put 10 minutes aside, and we both had a cry that Jess got booted as well this week, Dave. So I was so upset about her leaving. I mean, I got completely wrong about her. I didn't see a lot. No, I didn't see a lot. I was probably quite blinded, but she was a bell end. And I love the fact that when she got booted, she was fuming, Dave. I've heard a lot of people locally who know her and have said, like, she's just a bell end, basically. I was at Tattoos the other day, and they were saying, like, they know her really well. And yeah, she's a wannabe, but like her character is that it's take it or leave it with her. You either love her or you hate her, sort of thing, if that makes sense. And that's the way she is. She's straight down the line. But yeah, I love the fact that she's got these gif, like, memeable faces. And when she got booted, she's like, what, me? Like, she thought she was going to win it, didn't she? She was a bit of a gobshite towards the end, especially. So yeah, I wasn't devastated about her loss to the island.
Yeah, I mean, you're celebrating the reality radar, but I think you massively misjudged Jess, didn't you, a few weeks ago? You didn't call reality radar at that time, so I guess that probably doesn't count. But yeah, I think literally after we had that chat and you saying, I don't know if it's a regional thing, but, you know, it shouldn't seem that bad. She just seemed to turn on that moment into a massive knob.
Yeah, I know, yeah, they got that wrong completely.
The clues were there. I think we've probably just given her a bit more of a pass. I'm maintaining my thought process that she's just the sort of person who looks down and knows everyone else is kind of beneath her. And so, you know, she'll write off things as her just being honest, but she ultimately doesn't give a fuck if she upsets someone, if she's talking to them. So I think that it's a fine line, that one, you know, to be really honest and open with someone. And being absolutely brutal and not giving a fuck about their feelings. So yeah, no tears shed at all for Jess going. I think it was the right one. I do think she had that kind of Squidward look about her, with the eyes drop down, the frowny face and stuff, almost or borderline grumpy cat, I think. So yeah, no, nothing missed with her being jettisoned off, I'd say.
No,
Do you
good
like
stuff.
that? Do you like that?
I like that. Yes,
jettisoned off.
Jettisoned off. Yeah, yeah. She's a very cartoon character expressions. But anything else, Dave? Before we go,
have we missed anyone? Obviously, I mentioned about Lolly coming in.
Yeah, fuck all
Terrible
going on
with
there,
names.
Dave.
Yeah,
just nothing's going on with her.
No idea where that's going to end up. I think. What do you reckon? Because I said about Grace and Joey potentially getting back together, but that it doesn't look the most probable thing. But I don't know. There's something in the back of my mind. Grace is currently with Ruben. In fact, what did you reckon to Grace's speech to Ruben? She was like, yeah, he's a good guy, but it's very early and let's see if anyone else comes in. Just thought it was a terrible speech.
That, yeah.
But she sat down and he's like, oh yeah, nice speech. I'm like,
yeah,
did you hear it?
I think with Grace, like, obviously she was right at the start of the week with Joey, but I think she's got a little bit of the Jess about her where she thinks she's fucking the main character as well, doesn't she? I think she loves herself. I think like there's times there where she stood up for herself with Joey. I really liked that what she did, and she's like, you can fuck off. But I'm with you. I think I said it with the raid. I'm sure there's still something there between him, Dave. Definitely. It doesn't make sense, Joey is with that other Jess, because she's got no personality at all. That is a really strange coupling that. I don't think Joey's finished anyway with whoever comes in. When Lolly came in, he was like, oh, hello, and all that sort of thing. But I still think that if you're going to put them together for chemistry in that, Joey's got chemistry with Grace, and I still think it's off. So maybe this is going to be tonight. We're going to get the whole Joey speaking to one of the guys, probably fucking Sean, and going, or are you saying, I've made a mistake. I think Grace is the one. And we're going to get fucking them back together by about Wednesday. Yeah. It's coming. It's 100% coming. Ayo's going to do the same with Mimi. And all the bombshells and that are going to get booted off by the end of this week, I think. But I'm with you. I don't think that's dead in the water. And if it is something, because we said from the start when she came in and he binned off Samantha, that it seemed too cute. This feels like the playbook of before they came in. This is what they were going to do. So, yeah, I think we'll probably see Joey go, I think I've made a mistake. And I'll be like, I'll be doing, Dave, hoping that my fucking TV screen stands a remote control being thrown at it, because I'll be like, oh, fuck off. Here we go.
Yeah, I do agree. I think, I think Ayo and Mimi have to get together first. We'll see the conclusion of that definitely early this week. And that might even be the trigger to have this conversation about, I think I've made a mistake. There you go. I think we're on the same page. That's the prediction for this week, I'd say.
It is. I'm not saying it's a radar prediction, Dave, and also I don't want to embarrass Jo again if she tries to, you know what I mean? Because it wouldn't be kind to Jo. She's such a nice person.
You can't do that just because you've nailed. I mean, you've almost stuck the landing on one, and you're one of those kids at school who gives you a jab in the arm or something, and then runs off and declares "den." You can't get me anymore.
Ticky it, you're it. See ya. I'm not playing now. See ya. Yeah. Or you score the goal. So your team goes 3-2 up and goes, I'm going in now. That's my ball. See ya. I'm having the ball. Yeah, that's me, Dave. I'll take full credit. That is definitely me. Anyway,
we're 10-0 down. Right, next goal, the winner.
Yeah, next goal wins. Fucking hell, I've done that before. Yeah, as you stood on the line with the ball. But anyway, thank you, mate, for this. Really good, really good. And thanks, everyone, for listening, tuning in, all the chat on Facebook. Get over to Facebook, guys. Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. The chat feature's amazing. There's different chats for the different shows. We are both keeping an eye on Love Island USA, because I know everyone's saying how good it is. And I don't know we haven't decided what we're going to do next. And I'm not throwing under the bus, Dave. We just don't know. But yeah, I know that's been one hell of a show, and everyone's saying how good it is, and it's so much better than the UK one. So I am sort of side-eyeing it, thinking, So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, getting to the chat. There's chat on that. There's chat on the UK one. There's chat on the old shows. There's general chat as well. And keep all your spoilers in the chats. Everyone's been really, really great since the chat features have opened. It's all within the show, and that's if you're not up to date, don't go into the chats. But you shouldn't see anything on the main feed other than links to the show if you're outside the UK as well, because there's some great links for all the episodes. Or as I saying every week, we have got a NordVPN link in the show notes as well if you do want to use a VPN and watch it on the ITVX app. And also, I think the last episode of Love Island when the football was on. So England are playing in the final tonight. Is it coming home? No, it's anybody's guess. But it was moved, Love Island, if you're watching it outside the UK, from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on ITV2, even though the football's not on because of the viewership. But if you've got the ITVX app, it is available at the normal time at 9 p.m. UK time. So if you've got the app, you can still watch it as it would have been on ITV2. If not, it'll move by an hour to 10 p.m. tonight. So there you go. Bit of TV scheduling there, Dave.
Yeah, like the plug for the England game, England versus Spain game, and my eldest daughter's weirdly, I think just because of circle of friends, I mean, the whole nation's kind of gripped, aren't they? So my daughter's she's not interested in football at all, but even she's kind of getting sucked into it. And I think we were driving the other day, and a mate, she texted a mate or something like, "Oh, I'm coming home." And a mate texts back, "Oh, like the football." And so a daughter sort of said it. And I thought to myself, "Oh, yeah, Christ, it's coming home, it's coming home." And I was thinking, and I said to my daughter, I was like, it was 1996 when that first came out, right? And the whole line about 30 years of hurt. And I was thinking, it's almost 60 years. Reference. Yeah. But I'm like, no, let's stick with 30. Let's just keep, it's a rolling 30, isn't it? But yeah, fucking 28 years ago that song came out, Chris.
It's ridiculous. That was 1996. I was 17, nearly 18. I would have been. Oh my God.
How are two, young chaps like us, old enough to remember that coming out?
No, so bad. So bad. And you're right. Oh, that's terrible.
Oh man.
But anyway,
making me feel old. But you know what, sir? Thank you very much. And I know I always thank the listeners, but I do just want to really, really be thankful as well for everyone who's stuck with us. We would love to get back to doing daily takes and everything. And I'd love to do that one day, but for the moment, where we are in our lives and everything, this is the kind of frequency that is workable for us to do the once a week. And I just want to thank everyone for sticking around as well. It's just really humbling and fantastic. So thank you very much, sir. Thanks to all our listeners. Thanks to all our supporters. And we'll speak to you next time.
I usually say bye, but Dave, what I'm going to do is the roll call of honour for all our patrons.
Have we not done that? Fucking hell.
That shows you don't listen to me. Other than when I'm doing my fucking reality radio.
I don't listen.
Yeah, well, I've done the same when you'll stand. Sam always says, you'll do some massive big thing, and she knows I'm pissing about or I'm not paying attention, and I just go, it's terrible that, Dave. And you're fucking Sam's like, you're not even listening to him.
We do have medical conditions that we can point at, and that is why we don't listen to each other.
That's how we get on, because we're never offended by each other because we don't fucking listen. Perfect marriage, really, Dave. Yeah. You know what I mean? How we get told off for not listening. But anyway, if you do want to support us, get over to patreon.com/CD Realitycast. You want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. So massive thank you to all our patrons and our newest patron as well, Marcy. Thank you so much for joining the Patreon and supporting the podcast. We really appreciate you. So thank you so much. So the roll call of honour again is Marcy, Stacey, Sinead, Jessie, Kathleen Sims, Andrea, Nick, Danielle, Kim, Amanda, Larissa, Helen, Nicola, Fiona, Maggie, Zoe, Gillian, Keith, Helen, Chloe, Joanna, Libby, Susan, Hennessy, Lauren, Lucky Luda Green, and Kent Gustafsson. So thank you so much for all your support, guys. Amazing stuff. And as Dave has just said, we are giving out free relationship advice just as we go. The best way for any relationship to stay together as friends, as partners, just don't listen to each other. It's the best way to do it.
Sorry, did you say something?
Fuck you.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. All right, I'm just going to say it because I said it before. Bye.
Bye.